Realistically, there are three things that you need to look at for a perfect fundamental backhand. And in today's video, I want to show with the example of Patrick Franziska what that perfect backhand will look like. There's this great video by Table Tennis Daily who posted a video playing with Patrick Franziska, and there's the little nuggets that I think would be really helpful when you look at the backhand and what the perfect backhand should look like. There are three things that we need to look at. Just right here, take a look at how low Patrick Franziska is receiving the ball. So as you can see, the ball is coming into him. He is blocking here. However, this is the perfect example of what realistically it should look like. So if we come back here, just look at how low every single time he receives the ball. Look at how low he meets it. You can almost draw a perfect line across his chest. That is the level that you should be at when you play in the backhand. Talking to a lot of you guys in the online coaching that we're doing, is one thing that stands out. A lot of the people get great stance, however, their back is still stiff vertical like this, where if you can take a look at Patrick, he is bent down as much as possible, resulting in basically meeting the ball in front of his chest. If you basically remove this racket right here, it realistically should hit the bottom of your chin. That's how low you should be beating the ball. This will give you control. This will give you the necessary anticipation. This controls the height of what you can expect the ball to be at more precisely, because if you stand it up straight, then you have to deal with this up and down motion of the backhand where you don't know where to catch it properly. However, if you sit down low enough, you catching the ball in front of your chest, and this just brings you the more control possible. So this is the fundamental thing, number one, that I really want you guys to focus on. Basically a line here. So hand and your face is basically on the same level. You should see the racket in front of you when you're playing, and this is the motion. This is the level, the height that needs to be that you need to be at when you're playing backhand. Fundamental number two. If you take a look at Patrick's backhand, is what we call stability of elbow. Every single live stream you're doing, guys, every single person that was in my free discovery call, link in the description, every single person that's in my online coaching is basically those three things that we're discussing today. But main thing is keeping your elbow steady and a bit in front of you, so that it's not low, it's not high, it's right here, medium height, and you just keeping it in front of you, right? It's always the ball is in front of you here. So this is where you play. If you take a look at Patrick Franziska here, it never changes. You need the stability from your shoulder to your elbow. Should be relaxed enough, but also stable that it almost doesn't move. And your whole motion is going around this axis point. Everything is around that motion. Everything is around. It's like he's drawing a quarter of a circle around his elbow. And it's just beautiful sight to see. He has this perfect backhand that's like Timo Ball had, and he's just reflected it to his right-handed playstyle. So it's right here, and you draw in this quarter circle every single time when you play with your backhand. This is just perfect way for a backhand. A lot of people who've been watching this channel know that my opinion on wrist, that the more wrist, the better, the more spin you can get. However, if you play counters or anything like that, you should use less wrist. So that's the kind of a trade-off. If you want more control, it's less wrist. If you want more spin, more attack, it's more wrist. And I was just so proud to hear this from Patrick. It just confirmed that I know what I'm talking about.
If you could say your backhand in the most simplest way, what's the technique?
I mean, for me, it's very important that my underarm is very stable. And then I use a lot of wrist. But if you play passive, don't use too much wrist, because then the shot is not so controlled. So you wait in front, you go a little bit back if you have a little bit of time. I use the wrist and I just snap it, more or less.
And elbow high or low or middle?
Yeah. Relaxed but higher, like I would not have it down here, but I would be relaxed and then you snap it.
Yeah.
I just know my shit. I just know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, there's different types of backhand, and I've been a big perpetrator. I've been a big advocate for a backhand of Harimoto type of style, where it's basically the same way. It's just using less wrist on, as you can see, Patrick here, when he's describing his backhand, he's more about the flick, which if you watch my videos, I'm kind of the same way, and I'm kind of trying to teach myself the more of Harimoto style backhand, because I think it's better for like close to the table timing shots, where Patrick is more of like a middle distance. Obviously, he can play close to the table. It's a little bit more difficult to time those counters with his technique, especially with wrist type of stuff. However, if you play like if those Harimoto, like Lin Yunju or type stuff, those are a little bit easier to play from the top of the table. So yeah, if you just look at how he flicks the wrist, it is deep flexion of the wrist to then explode it. This is kind of almost like a old school, old ball type of backhand that just was used all the time. And this is how I learned, like with the more wrist, the better. However, with how quick the ball is flying nowadays and how quick the timing is probably one of the most important stuffs in modern table tennis. I feel like having less wrist here, but more wrist outwards can have almost as big as impact. So the great thing about this is you can differentiate. You can have kind of both in your arsenal, where you can have more wrist and more explosive backhand, and you can train that just a little bit farther from the table, and you can have like this explosive backhand where you can flick the wrist as hard as you can with the like. But that would be for if you play against underspin, or if you play something like a passive block that comes with no spin, or if something comes in like super quick and spinny. I wouldn't recommend going all wrist like this. It would be probably like Harimoto style. So if you like something like this, and I'm a big proponent of why not copy some of these guys' techniques? They do it properly. If you feel like you can copy some of this stuff, why not? I was copying Timo Boll all my life, not the forehand though. But yeah, so it's a quick fix for that. If that topspin's coming to you, you just cut off the first part. You just make it shorter and you go from here. Use the opponent's speed and spin to just counter the ball, and it will be perfect. So yeah, three quick things. The stance, keeping the ball in front of your chest, the stability of your elbow, and the flick of the wrist is the three things that you need for a perfect backhand. And if you want more videos like this, describing backhand, describing different kinds of exercises you can do for backhand, please let me know in the comments. I'm back making more videos, finally healthy enough to, even though I speak into my nose here, I'm still a little runny nose here, you know what I mean? It's kind of difficult still. But yeah, I'm back making videos. Let me know what kind of stuff works for you. If you want to work with me, there's a link in the description for the free discovery call. We can look at what kind of you need in terms of your technique and what kind of help you need from me, and then we can go from there. So book your free discovery call. It's absolutely free. You get 30 minutes with me one-on-one, and we can talk about your table tennis game. All right, this is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.